phase of our new space program, Kosmическая Программа СССР, Жизнь. We aspire to set foot on Mars. We need your help, new recruits, to accelerate our development of history by setting foot in the next frontier of space exploration. How did we get here? What is the history of modern Soviet Union and its accomplishments? If you are unaware of our progress, the progress of humanity, the progress of the USSR, we will introduce you to the Soviet history and the significance of space exploration, moving into the 1990s and the 21st century beyond. In 1964, Khrushchev continued leading the USSR on a liberal path. Khrushchev's infamous Red Square speech called for a socialist renaissance across Eastern Europe in response to the economic stagnation and limited growth caused by Stalinist-era approaches. Bottom-up socialist movements spread to France, Germany, and the rest of Central Europe. The Soviet Union's new approach involved implementing aspects of Western theories without compromising the tenets of Marxist-Leninist ideology and supporting socialist camps around the globe. There was no Soviet economic miracle as expected. Rather, we witnessed the rise of controlled NEP-style private enterprises to stimulate economic prosperity through hard work and collectivized action. Nonetheless, the liberalization of society in the late 1960s led to the increased public enthusiasm for Marxism-Leninism across the world, greater than all previous generations. This was Lenin's true intentions before Stalin betrayed us. The US sees communist support as nothing but false information spreading across Europe. Feeling as if his extreme paranoia had been validated, President Richard Nixon legislates draconian policies to protect American citizens against communism. A police state headed by the Conservative Party was established. As expected, this caused further economic unrest and the rise of radicalism. Nixon was somehow re-elected, stating that his opponents are communist sympathizers who wish to bring Soviet ideology to America through a Soviet coup under the framework of the Watergate scandal. The space race endures as we continue to outcompete capitalist countries. The Soviets succeed with the sagas of Sputnik, Yuri Gagarin, and the Vostok program, Valentina Tereshkova, the Soyuz program, and beyond. Reflecting its social division and economic crisis, failed to deliver on its promises. The initial success of the Gemini and Apollo programs are outshadowed by the catastrophic failure of the U.S. moon landing.
Good evening, my fellow Americans. Fate has ordained that the men who went to the moon to explore in peace will stay on the moon to rest in peace. For every human being who looks up at the moon in the nights to come will know that there is some corner of another world that is forever mankind. Good night.
Instead, we land the first man. On another front, the Vietnam War continues. Fearing the worst, President Nixon commands a ground invasion of Vietnam in 1975, threatening the use of nuclear weapons in a final fight against communism. NATO and Henry Kissinger revolt against Nixon, causing a quasi-coup, with Canada, Germany, Poland, UK, and Spain leaving NATO as a result of Nixon's disturbing approach, later causing Nixon to resign. President Gerald Ford then encounters oil embargoes, economic depression, and high inflation, causing irreparable damage to the U.S. economy. The Soviet Union remains the largest economy in the world since 1972, with several influential nations looking towards the Soviet bloc for international peace and prosperity, headed by communism and its technological advancements. The Soviet Union and its allies prosper while the US remains deadlocked in social, political, and economic division hardlined throughout the 70s and early 80s. The US seeks growth and expansion but cannot escape the inherent failures of capitalism. Thus, the modern Soviet Union is perceived as the leader of the free world, as humanity finally moves on from the Cold War and capitalist dominance of the US. Similar to the Soviet success in the Korean War, the Soviet-Afghan War proves to be an achievement for peace and prosperity under communist regimes. The Soviet Union is not escaping intrinsic failures as the US is. Rather, we are building a new frontier of science and technology for the betterment of humanity. We want to address the fundamental questions about our place in the cosmos. We want to reach Mars and be the first to foster peaceful connections with extraterrestrial life. On Earth, the program will ensure the evolution of technologies to improve healthcare and our environment, create engineer-related technical jobs, enhance safety and security, create yearly scientific discoveries, inspire the youth's interest in Soviet science internationally, and encourage cooperation with all socialist nations around the world. To prove the strength of Soviet leadership, communist success, and socio-economic prosperity, we are launching a revitalized space program aimed at reaching the Red Planet. At age 83, Sergei Korolev leads the contemporary exploration under Kosmическая Программа СССР Жизнь. We represent what the Soviet Union has long embodied: industry, technology, healthcare, education, space travel, and the fight against evil. Joining together in international cooperation, we call for comrades like you to join the program and bring your skills, hard work, and dedication to the new frontier. The program will utilize the proven technology of hydrogen upper stage launchers to get us on the trajectory to Mars, specifically employing the N1 rocket with 4 liquid hydrogen and oxygen engines. Solar electric propulsion, as the Americans once suggested, would be unable to compete with our newfound nuclear thermal electric propulsion secondary engines to accelerate the ship's travel to Mars. We cut transit time by 50% from 6 months to 3 months. Within our rocket, a small nuclear reactor heats up liquid hydrogen to form gaseous elements, which expand outwards as the thrusters and propel the ship for a glorious, quick transit time. With such a transit to Mars, you, our cosmonauts, will be guaranteed limited exposure to the cosmic radiations of space. The rocket will be led by a computerized artificial Soviet intelligence system able to detect and evade micrometeorites and impact damage, solar flares in zones of increased radiation, and space debris entirely. Combining all modernized advanced Soviet technology, the Soviet Union will maintain and advance its dominance and strategic leadership in technology development and space exploration. All that's left is you. We need you, the comrades of the Soviet Union and beyond, to help in all sectors of this program, such as the disciplines of healthcare, safety, administration, technology development, engineering, science, psychology, and the ability to train and produce prospective cosmonauts for the first long-term deep space expedition to Mars. With the world standing behind us and watching over us, we look to you, new recruits, to join Программа Жизнь. We need you now more than ever. Go to your nearest administrative center immediately to apply.